Yesterday, President Trump canceled his Poland trip this weekend to monitor the hurricane down in Florida, telling the country it was important for him to be there for the people of Florida. It's a shift, of course, from how he treated Puerto Rico a few days ago when the storm was projected to hit the island hard. He called the U.S. territory one of the most corrupt places on earth, attacked the San Juan mayor as incompetent, and lamented that yet another big storm is heading to Puerto Rico. Will it ever end? Like it's their fault. The president has a mixed record, of course, when it comes to addressing national disasters, sometimes showing more empathy than states that voted for him. Here he was expressing his support for the people of Texas and Florida after Hurricanes Harvey and Irma.
I'll be going to Texas tomorrow. I look very much forward to it. Things are being handled really well. The spirit is incredible of the people. You're going to get your funding. It's a terrible tragedy. I just want to tell you, we are there for you 100%. I'll be back here numerous times. I mean, this is a state that I know very well, as you understand, and these are special, special people, and we love them.
But in the wake of Hurricane Maria, he attacked the Puerto Rican government itself.
We're closely coordinated with the territorial and local governments, which are totally and unfortunately unable to handle this catastrophic crisis on their own, just totally unable to. I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack.
He also blamed the state of California for the devastating wildfires there last year, tweeting that there is no reason for these massive, deadly, and costly forest fires in California except that forest management is so poor. Remedy now or no more Fed payments. That's Trump warning the fires not to happen. I'm joined right now by Eli Stokols, White House reporter for the LA Times, Jennifer Rubin, his opinion writer, of course, for the Washington Post. It's like his tax policy. Get the big tax states because they voted against him. Don't worry about places that he can't win, like California or Puerto Rico, where they don't get the vote for president, but love Florida. Don't even go to Poland, which loves us. Don't go there, and don't mess up on tax. It is so obviously political, his empathy.
Well, he's for, 3 years shown and been explicit about the fact that he believes that everything is about his self-interest and it's about what am I getting back from something. Now, we don't know. You have to take him at his word about canceling the trip to Poland. Maybe he just didn't want to go to Europe for the second time in 5 days. But, he's saying the things about taking the storm seriously. But it's interesting. I mean, he left the White House an hour and a half ago for Camp David. And as he was talking about the storm as if he was a guy in a barbershop just talking about it, saying, it looks like it's going to be really bad. Got to be honest with you. That's not normally what a president does. Wherever the storm is going to be, typically they would be talking to people in the storm's path saying, really got to think twice about staying put. There are going to be resources there. And he also said, we'll make the decision on Sunday about whether to force an evacuation. That's a decision that's made at the local level. It's not a top-down decision. There's just not a full grasp of how to be the commander-in-chief, how to be the president in these sorts of moments.
I talked to somebody down there
regardless of where they are.
Florida. They're all getting together. They're out there getting water. They're doing all this stuff you do.
Right.
It's a real situation. He treats it like crowd sizes. This is going to be a big one.
He does. He cheers the sizes of these disasters as if it's good for him that the bigger the disaster happen under his command. What? Because he gets to be the bigger hero cleaning up the mess? I never quite understood that, but he does.
Come on, we need some psychological analysis here. Why does this president love big hurricanes?
Because everything is more important and bigger, and he's the best, and he has to do the most for all these people.
To make your point, here he is yesterday talking about Hurricane Dorian as an absolute monster. And earlier this week, he tweeted it. It will be a very big hurricane, perhaps one of the biggest. He's like Don King. This isn't the first time the president, I'm talking like him, appeared to be awed by the severity of natural disasters. Let's watch him.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. I've heard the words epic. I've heard historic. It's the biggest ever. They're saying it's the biggest. It's historic. It is a historic amount of water in particular. There's never been anything like it. It's incredible what's going on and burned beyond recognition. They can't even see the bodies. It's incredible. It was a Category 5. I never even knew a Category 5 existed.
He's like a film promoter out of L.A. promoting the next big, blockbuster.
Well, her hyperbole is his vernacular, and that's just all he knows. And he also doesn't really know how to speak, seriously about these things. So that's just sort of what he does when he is in this situation. And he doesn't talk about climate. He said in the,
right.
Puerto Rico again, once again, as if it's like so annoying. And he does, and then he refuses to sort of, connect the very obvious dots.
Thank you.
Why the oceans are warming, why the storms are getting more.
If you read the New York Times, a good newspaper, right? Top of the fold almost every day, they've got something from the third world of people suffering from climate change.
Right.
They're all moving north because it's hot down there. And it's happening in Africa, it's happening in South America, Central America. All this is connected.
Right. And his own government reports that this is a huge, not only national security issue for us, but for the world. We're going to have, we have now a huge migration problem because of wars. We're going to have it because of natural disasters.
And wars because of climate
change. Exactly. The other thing that's so telling is that he never talks about people. He is so lacking in human empathy and understanding that this is real people, real people's lives. He hypes the storm, but doesn't talk about the suffering or the plight or the fear of individual people. And it's so like him. This is the guy who did
well, this one, throwing the bounty picker-uppers. I mean, it was like these people are underwater and he's throwing out paper towels like he's Santa Claus or something. Look at this. He's really into this. Look, throwing the long ball here. Look at it, the big long ball. Look.
Well, and I remember that trip to Puerto Rico. He went to this place that was enclosed. He didn't go actually tour some of the hardest hit areas because it's not just empathy, but he really struggles to even face suffering and to deal with tragedy. And
I'll bet you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.